If you look at the largest megastructure in 8 major countries, you get 8 completely different visions of what human beings are capable of building. In some nations, the biggest structure is an industrial giant built to swallow entire airplanes whole. In others, it's a monument of pure state dominance that literally slowed down the rotation of the Earth. Some were built by the runaway ego of a single dictator, while others were funded entirely by private trade cartels. Let's start with a country where the ultimate megastructure wasn't built for vanity, but out of sheer industrial necessity: the United States. In the late 1960s, Boeing designed the 747 jumbo jet. There was only one problem. The plane was so impossibly large that no factory on planet Earth could fit the assembly line. So Boeing bought nearly 800 acres of dense forest in Everett, Washington, and built a factory that spans nearly 100 continuous acres under one single roof. Today, the Boeing Everett factory holds the record as the largest building in the world by usable volume, enclosing a staggering 13.3 million cubic meters of space. It is so massive that the entire Disneyland theme park could fit inside it with room left over for parking. The original build cost about $1 billion in 1960s capital, roughly $8.9 billion today, an expense so crushing it nearly bankrupted the company. Because of its sheer scale, the facility operates like an independent sovereign city, featuring its own dedicated fire department, medical clinic, and an underground pedestrian tunnel network. In its early days, before a multi-million-dollar ventilation system was installed, the facility actually had its own indoor weather system. The warm air and humidity from thousands of workers would rise 100 feet to the ceiling, condense, and form actual indoor rain clouds. While China is home to the largest single building by floor area, the country's ultimate feat of engineering is the Three Gorges Dam. Spanning the Yangtze River in Hubei, it holds the record as the world's largest power station and concrete megastructure. Constructed from over 27 million cubic meters of concrete and reinforced with enough steel to build 63 Eiffel Towers, this is a structure of planetary scale. It stretches 1.4 miles across the river and towers nearly 600 feet into the air. Funded through state bonds and a national surcharge on domestic electricity, the official price tag stands around $31.8 billion, though real estimates exceed $37 billion. The human footprint was immense. The Chinese government relocated over 1.3 million citizens and completely submerged 13 cities, 140 towns, and over 1,300 villages to fill its reservoir. That reservoir holds 39.3 trillion liters of water. When it filled to its maximum level, NASA geophysicists confirmed that shifting that much mass actually slowed the rotation of the Earth, extending our day by 0.06 microseconds. If China's dam is about national power, Romania's megastructure is a monument to unchecked dictatorial ego. In the 1980s, Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu ordered the construction of the Palace of the Parliament in Bucharest. Today, it is officially the heaviest building on Earth. Weighing an astonishing 4.1 million metric tons, it actually sinks deeper into the Earth by several millimeters every single year under its own crushing weight. To clear space for its massive footprint, Ceausescu demolished 1/5 of historic Bucharest, flattening 19 churches and displacing tens of thousands of families. The building consumed an estimated 30% of Romania's national budget throughout the 1980s, ultimately costing around $4.4 billion in today's money. All of this happened while ordinary citizens faced severe rationing of basic food and electricity. Inside its 1,100 rooms and 8 underground levels, it holds 1 million cubic meters of pure Transylvanian marble, 3,500 tons of crystal chandeliers, and nuclear blast bunkers with concrete walls 1.5 meters thick. Today, roughly 70% of the building sits completely empty, and its annual utility bill alone costs Romanian taxpayers over $6 million a year. For nearly 8 decades, the United States Pentagon held the crown as the world's largest office building. In late 2023, that record was officially broken by the Surat Diamond Bourse in Gujarat is now the largest single office building in the world. Surat cuts and polishes nearly 90% of the world's rough diamonds, but for decades, merchants had to commute hours to Mumbai to trade internationally. To solve this, a cooperative of diamond merchants bypassed government funding entirely, raising $425 million, or roughly 3,500 crore rupees, out of their own pockets to build a centralized trading fortress. The complex spans 7.1 million square feet of floor space across 9 interconnected 15-story towers, housing 4,700 individual corporate offices. Despite its colossal footprint, the design ensures any office can be reached from an entrance in under 7 minutes. It also utilizes brilliant passive aerodynamic design. Prevailing winds are pulled through a central spine using the Venturi effect, cutting traditional cooling energy demands by 50% in the intense Gujarat heat. In the early 2000s, Dubai made a strategic decision. Knowing its domestic oil reserves wouldn't last forever, the United Arab Emirates invested billions into megatourism and luxury real estate. The centerpiece of that gamble was the Burj Khalifa. Soaring 2,717 feet into the sky across 163 occupied floors, it is the tallest building and freestanding structure in the world. The primary engineering hurdle wasn't holding up its own weight. It was surviving violent high-altitude wind shear. To counter this, engineers created a Y-shaped buttressed core that steps back in a spiraling pattern as it rises, effectively breaking up wind vortices before they can cause fatal structural sway. Costing $1.5 billion directly, building it in the desert required wild techniques. Concrete had to be mixed with ice and pumped hundreds of meters upward exclusively at night to prevent it from cracking in the 113-degree desert heat. Today, just keeping its glass facade clean is a non-stop operation where 36 technicians take 4 full months just to complete a single wash. Just a few countries away, Saudi Arabia built a megastructure for an entirely different reason: managing the logistics of human faith. Overlooking the Grand Mosque in Mecca, the government built the Abraj Al-Bait complex, also known as the Mecca Royal Clock Tower. Its purpose is to house the millions of pilgrims who arrive for the annual Hajj. Rising 1,972 feet, the central tower holds the world's largest clock faces. They measure 141 feet across on each of their 4 sides, are lit by 2 million LEDs, and are visible from 15 miles away. With a total cost of $15 billion, it ranks as the single most expensive building complex ever constructed. Designed like a vertical megacity, it encloses nearly 17 million square feet of space, housing an 8-story luxury mall, massive prayer halls, and hotel suites capable of accommodating 100,000 pilgrims at the exact same time. South of Berlin, Germany, sits one of the strangest engineering pivots in history. In the late 1990s, a German company called Cargolifter spent 78 million euros erecting a colossal arch steel dome to manufacture giant cargo zeppelins. The resulting structure, known as the Arium, is the largest single hall without interior supporting pillars in the world. It is 360 meters long, 210 meters wide, and 107 meters tall, enclosing 5.2 million cubic meters of empty space. It is tall enough to fit the Statue of Liberty upright, and long enough to lay the Eiffel Tower on its side inside the hall. However, the airship company went bankrupt before finishing a single commercial craft. Rather than demolishing the dome, a Malaysian leisure group bought it and spent another 75 million euros transforming the cold steel hangar into Tropical Islands Resort. Today, it is an indoor tropical paradise kept at a constant 79 degrees Fahrenheit, complete with an indoor rainforest of 50,000 live trees, artificial sandy beaches, and water slides. Finally, sitting on the prime meridian in Greenwich, London, is the United Kingdom's most iconic modern structure. The O2 Arena, originally known as the Millennium Dome, was commissioned to celebrate the turn of the millennium. Engineered with high-tensile steel cables hung from 12 100-meter-tall yellow masts, it is the largest single clear-span tensioned fabric structure on Earth. It covers 20 acres under a single sheet of glass fabric that is just 1 millimeter thick. The building is heavily layered with time symbolism. Its 365-meter diameter matches the days in a year, its 52-meter central height represents the weeks, and its 12 support masts represent the months on a clock. Funded via the UK's National Lottery at an initial cost of nearly £800 million, or $1.3 billion, the project was originally ridiculed as an expensive, empty white elephant, but after private developers stepped in with a major interior overhaul, it was completely transformed. Today, the O2 consistently ranks as one of the busiest, most profitable live entertainment venues in the world. Every country's largest structure acts as a direct reflection of its culture, its wealth, and its ambitions. America built for industrial aviation, China built to dominate natural forces, Romania built for authoritarian pride, and India built for decentralized commercial dominance.